1, 2, you hear the clock ticking, tick tock. You about to stop living, tick tock. I want you to remember me, tick tock. But the dead don't have no memory. I'm coming. Nobody can stop me, nobody can hold me, nobody control me. I'm coming. I'm here to do my thing. I'm here to bring the pain. I'm never ever gonna change. I'm coming. No.
Like, I'ma just die in the stage. Like, I don't care if I die with an L. Like, I'm gonna die. Like, I don't. 3, 2, 1.
What's going on? It's your boy MVP. With me right now, I have a special guest. You guys might recognize the man's face. Right, he's the 2018 EBS World Krump Champion. My boy Ken.
Hey,
my brother. Thanks for making the time. To come out and do this, man. I appreciate that a lot.
Oh, good. Have to support. Have to support. Maybe
You heard the man. All right, 2018. We'll start there. All right, we brought it up. EBS World Champion. You went in.
Yeah.
All right. I felt as though nobody gave you a chance. Right. No one was giving you a chance in that tournament. And
bro, that was.
Did you feel that? Did you feel it,
bro? That was the. It's so funny, bro, because I think from after Graveyard, obviously me and 12 were in the finals, and even that was super difficult, bro. Like 12 was going ham, and then obviously I was able to pull the win, and then even just leading up to the whole, like, before our trip, I just felt like, bro, like no one really respected like New Zealand. And that was my whole mentality, was like 12 already, was on the world stage. And, fell out of the first round. So like that whole first impression of New Zealand, I felt like people didn't get to see the best version of them. You know what I mean? And so I came with like a chip on my shoulder already. Just because I was like, bro, like I don't want NZ to be slept on. But even at the event was just, bro, like no one... Everyone, so I was supposed to be called Junior Street Beast. That's what I registered as.
Yeah.
AKA LIGHTSABER. That was my AKA. They started calling me Ken, bro. Is New Zealand? Is Ken from New Zealand in the building? I was like,
oh wow,
bro, this is pretty bad, because obviously you hear the other competitors like Cyborg. Who else was in the lineup? I think it was Titan.
Yeah,
Titan from Spain, and then and then all you hear is Ken, and bro, my character, just my whole outlook on the like whole tournament was like flipping up and changing, bro, and that was happening like every single day. We got to the workshops. They're like, New Zealand, like we don't really have you on the list. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure, like Junior Street Beast. It was like, Ken? I was like, bro,
wow.
I was dying, bro. So I was just itching to just fully just go in and just go ham, because I was just, bro, I was just so mad. I was mad, but I was just more so mad at the fact that like New Zealand it just wasn't really a thing. It was like, oh, okay, come. And then everyone else, there was more of an emphasis on them. Everyone was just, obviously the top dogs and stuff. So, but yeah, it was just weird, bro. It was super weird.
Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy, man. I would have felt pretty disrespected like that as well.
Bro, it happened.
Cyborg, Titan, Ken.
Bro. What that does to your character, what that does to your like whole mentality, bro. Like I was like I was raging inside, bro. And then even just like, oh, bro, just everything, like, because everyone knew each other, because everyone's like consistently gone over, and they, you know, see each other like every single year. It was just difficult to what's it called, to be there and to say that you're the New Zealand qualifier, but everyone sort of knows each other, so they sort of like create their own little groups. And here I am just, yo, and Shuddy was a flipping superstar over there. So I was like, I felt even worse. This dude rocks up and I was like,
everybody
shut down, whoa. And I was like, damn. Alright. So yeah, bro, it was just way too funny. And even 12, he was like, everyone remembered him, everyone respected him because of all of the things that he did in 17? Yeah, in 2017, bro. So him battling like Kid and Y, all of that stuff, being in Paris for a little bit, bro. So yeah, it was hilarious to go in and just no one knows you, no one cares. Just everyone's just like, okay, that's nice. And then for me to actually like take the whole competition and to win it, bro, it was hilarious, bro. Yeah. The best experience ever. But that's just, yeah, there's like the positive side of it, and then there's like the real story. And I feel like a lot of people hear like, you know, the positives and everything, but in the reality, bro, it was very, very difficult, and it was super hard for even myself and some of the other dancers like from NZ to just get down. Yeah, I think too, like, see, that you mentioned that is like there was a lot more pressure on you. You went in with pressure already, like, you know, I'm representing New Zealand, but then when you got there, you kind of felt like, you know, kind of like an outsider, which kind of added a little more pressure on you. But when did you actually, because you believed in yourself the whole time, right? Did you believe you were gonna win that? You could win that. Bro, to be honest, I have to be honest here.
Let's be honest.
I had to be honest, bro. So I trained, like, what's it called? I trained my body, like, because the month before that, I just came back from Worlds. So
that's right. I
remember so
that.
So obviously I was with Prestige at the time, and we were training like 8 to 9 weeks for the States, and then I had about a month turnover to start training for EBS. So physically, I was probably in the best shape that I could have been in to compete at that stage, at that level.
Yeah.
But the weirdest thing is that mentally, bro, I was just so like everywhere. I was confident in myself, and I was confident that like I'm the type of person that anything can happen. If I'm in my zone, like I don't care if you're like the best ever. Like, I've battled Sherwin the first time he came here, and I just went in with the whole mentality of like, I don't really care who or what you are, like, I'm just gonna go all in. And for me, I've always felt like that underdog factor has always been like a narrative in my like whole Krump career, and I feel like it's still getting to the point where it's like slowly, I guess, what's it called, being elevated to like another platform.
Yeah.
But I feel like I do the best that I do against people that everyone like already says like, oh, that person's gonna win. And so yeah, bro, flip. Just yeah, I was just confident that anything can happen. I wasn't necessarily like, yeah, I'm gonna win this, because I try to not go in with that mentality, bro. Like, to be honest, I'm never like, yeah, I can win this, because that makes you feel like you got something to lose. I was always in the perspective like, I've got nothing to lose but everything to gain. And so yeah, just being able to like take out all these competitors, and just being ready on the side and just being like, I'ma just die in the stage. Like, I don't care.
That's crazy,
if
bro.
I die with an L, like, I'm gonna die like either way.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's a little bit of that.
Yeah, and like you mentioned the whole underdog thing, because when I first met you, you came to Australia to compete at Clash Nations, and to be honest, like we heard we kind of knew who everybody else was. We knew a little bit about you, but we didn't know too much about you. But the matchup was you versus Flyboy, right? And I felt like that was your introduction to Oceania in a way, because that was Australia's first look live and in person at LIGHTSABER. And you know, when that battle was announced, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, Flyboy's got this. Flyboy's got this." But when I talked to the New Zealand guys, they were all telling me, "You guys better watch out for LIGHTSABER." And so when I seen that battle live and I see you doing your thing, like I was blown away. Like, how have we not heard of this guy? You know? And so after that was like, we started paying a lot more closer attention to you, the stuff that you were doing. Then to see you go on to EBS, like you were representing New Zealand, but to be honest, it felt more like you representing the whole of Oceania, because from back home, Australia was supporting you 100% as well. New Zealand was backing you. Everybody was up watching the live feeds. And like, did you feel that kind of support from everyone back at home?
I think like during the competition, bro, like I was zoning everything out. Like I was literally just when you get to the competition, they provide a room for all the competitors to go and chill at, and even in that room there's battles happening before you even get into the stage.
Oh wow.
Because you're talking about people who are like fully invested in this competition. They know the ins and outs, they know the strategies, so they are labbing at the back, like going ham. I remember watching JNY in the corner, he was labbing. I remember watching like Slam, Whiphead, they were all going at it, and even Shuddy was on the side. Like all of Oceania were together, and I just remember like being in that atmosphere. Like, bro, it was insane to be able to like try and maintain that sort of mentality of like, I'm gonna kill, because you're looking at all of these guys that you've been watching on YouTube, you know what I mean, just like fully going ham in front of you. So I wasn't able to have that free space to be able to like feel the support, but
right.
it was cool, bro. Like I think after the semifinals against me and Cyborg, like I had to get away from everyone, bro. Like I was like, look, I had to just find my space. That's the first thing I did, bro. I like quickly walked out, because all of them, like some of the boys, obviously like Chris, Trent, and Shuddy, and all of them, they were all happy. Like they were ecstatic, and Knowles as well. Flipping shout out to YG Beast as well, YG Street Beast. What's it called?
He's a man. Eh?
He came. He was like, you know, they were all like trying to hug me, but I was like, I just needed my space, and I sat down for a bit, and like I just took in the moment of like, flip, like my name is up there with like the likes of like the Ugly Fates, the Trixers, the Concretes, the Beasts, the Flip Sides, who were in the finals. You know what I mean? Like just. I was like, man, I'm happy to take second. Like, second doesn't, you know, second doesn't sound too bad. And like, so for me, even the beginning of the competition, I was like, I just wanted to beat Trent. I just wanted to beat. Honestly, that was one way I kept telling him. I was like, "Oos, like, bro, I just want to not lose in the first round. Like, that's my goal. And then anything after that, it'll just whatever happens. But bro, like afterwards, the support was insane from like everyone, Australia, New Zealand, especially just Mangry, like bro, like oh man, just South Auckland in general. It was just weird, bro. It just felt like a dream, man. I just went numb. Legit, I was just like, everything's happening. Flip.
Yeah. They even created a Saber Day for you.
I was
Saber Day.
Saber Day, bro. October 1st.
This guy has a day, right? It's Saber Day.
Man, that is super crazy. But bro, to touch on flipping, me versus Flyboy. Now that
Alright, let's get there.
Throwback, bro.
2015.
15, bro. Yeah. And that was like my first ever like, that was my first international like Krump event of any sort, and I was just super nervous because the lineup kept changing because people
kept pulling out.
And so I was like ready one time, and then I was like, oh, then I get another person, and I was like, yo, and then oh, that guy pulls out, and then I'm with Flyboy, and already like this is after the whole Eyes like came over and battled him in that workshop space. Yeah, and then I was watching all of that, and I was like, flip, bro, this guy's insane. But I think the coolest thing about me is that like when I go up against like top people, I feel the most comfortable. Like, for some reason, I know it's weird.
That's
but
pretty weird, bro. But it works. It works for you.
I feel mad comfortable, bro. Like, if say for example, if it's people that that like I don't know but are like really really talented, or if it's people that, you know, like the likes of like 12 or 13, like that's when I'm really nervous. But when it's like people that are like, you know, the sort of superstars of the Krump world, like I'm so comfortable in the sense of like not comfortable in my skill to beat them, but comfortable in the sense that like, bro, like I do not care because the pressure isn't on me no more. Like, you know what I mean? Like everyone's like,
right,
he's gonna win, and bro, like when that happens, I'm just like, yeah, like, yeah, bro. I'm like, bro, because so many times this last year, I think people were like, "What up, champ? Let's go, champ!" And I was like, to be honest, that whole champ title, as amazing as it is, it's honestly like not even a thing. And that's crazy for me to say, but I said it, and I said it straight after the event too. I got the belt and I gave it straight to YG Street Beast. I don't even want to hold it because to me it's like, this is cool for my country, this is cool for my city, this is cool for our movement, but to me it's just, it's a title, but it's not something that's gonna like define like me and my Krump, you know. It's cool that I did it, and I'm super proud of it, but I will never use that as like, you know, like, I don't know what to say. Like, I can't really explain it. I'm not explaining it well. Yeah. But I think the narrative in Krump anyway, with like a champ, it's just like there's a lot of expectation on that person, and for me, especially with my history, I've hated that. I don't really care about no expectation. And so with the whole world champ thing, again, I said it before, like it's for my city, but to me, I'm still LIGHTSABER. I'm still the underdog in every single thing that I do, and I love it like that. Until I like retire, until I like look back and you know, really just see the fruit of all the hard work that I've been a part of, that's when I can be proud and be able to say like, yep, this is what I did. But until then, bruh, we still working, bruh. There's too much to do, bro. There's too much to do.
There's so much to do, man. Like, so when you came back from EBS, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it was cool. Like, you blew up, right? A lot of like people on my Facebook that don't even like Krump, don't even support Krump.
Dang.
Right? But they were all like, bro, a Samoan just became the world champion. Yeah. That's when I kind of knew like, wow, this accomplishment is actually like crossing over in outside of our world. Legit. All right, and then I'm scrolling on social media. You're doing media, like you're going here, you're going there.
Yeah.
How's all that, man? Cause
it was really cool for that reason, bro. Being able to like share, I guess, just share the hopes and the possibilities for young Pacific Islanders doing Krump, you know what I mean, and as like a legit vehicle to make a living out of. And I think, just burped there, but what's it called, I think the fact that I was able to go on national television and talk about like Krump in front of the whole of New Zealand and be interviewed as a young Pacific Island male from South Auckland was a statement in itself. And yeah, bro, it's really dope to see like different islanders be able to recognize that, yeah, I was a world champ, and for them to respect like, yo, you're the world champ of this kind of dance that like I kind of know but don't really know, and it's not really mainstream, but to see other islanders around you and to see like just the hype that it's drawing.
Yeah.
Bro, it was really, really good for that reason, just to talk on, just what it can do for people, what it's done for me, what it's done for our community, and what it can hopefully do in the future.
Yeah, it's so true because, like, we as Krumpers, majority of the eyes obviously is like, America, Russia. So a lot of times we have to look outside of our own community to kind of, for our hopes and dreams, like you were saying. But to have someone in our own backyard, that has proven that, hey, someone from New Zealand can do this. Someone from Australia can do this.
Yep.
What I noticed about, like, with your accomplishment is the confidence of our own dancers, like, skyrocketed.
Legit.
Or like the effect that your hard work and your accomplishment at EBS, what it did for Australia and New Zealand, like, is amazing, bro. Like,
it puts us back, like everyone's in the same level now. You know what I mean? Like yes, we have the superstar Krumpers, but because I was able to win such a prestigious competition, now the door's open for all of Australasia, for New Zealand, for Oz. Like Shuddy, he had the hardest road to the finals, and he just lost to Slam in the semis. And so for even, he had a lot to play with the whole narrative of us really opening the door for us, like, as a community, to feel that we can actually start competing at this level and start giving people like a really good go. You know what I mean? And so I feel like it's cool to be able to be part of that momentum shift in our community. And even now, it's still like 13 in the Beast Camp, still doing his thing. And I think it's just going to get even crazier, like legit. I think Oz, there's a couple people in Australia that's going to like really show out. There's a couple people here. Like, I can't wait to see like 13 like really just shock everyone. Like, he did it in Beast Camp, but bro, like,
I can do more.
There's so many more, bro. And even just like, because originally YG Street Beast was the qualifier
he won
winner.
that, yeah,
bro. He was insane, bro, and he actually beat 13 in his road to the finals. And so, bro, if he was there, like, there's just so many like different up and coming like dancers that are just from both countries that I'm just looking forward to just like seeing on that top stage against some of the top people. Hopefully I'll be up there, man.
Yeah, like, I mean, we're all starting to go out there now.
Yep.
Like, after that, like, Krump happened earlier this year. The Beast Camp was earlier this year. We got people going out representing us. So, by the way, when they announced you the winner of EBS, did they call you Ken? or did they fix that?
They fixed that by the end, bro.
They saw that. Frick! This guy keeps winning. All right, we got to get his.
They fixed it by the end, bro. They fixed it by the end, and it was so funny, bro. No one, like, I mean, it's not to blame them. Like, I totally understand. Like, shout out to Kwame and the whole event, like Kofi and all of them. Like, I understand. Like, you just don't know me, but I was just in fits.
You
like,
registered though. You registered.
Bro, I thought I did everything that they needed, bro, for them to at least call me by my like Krump name with everyone else's Krump name. But bro, it was that whole build up to that before the competition. That was the funniest experience I've ever had, bro. Legit workshops. It's like, oh, we've got Ken, New Zealand. I was like, yep, that's me. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. But yeah, bro, like, we're proud of the accomplishments that you did, and it's all hard work, bro. Like, we've been seeing you putting in a lot of work over the years. I think that's one of the lessons that our community needs to take, is that these things require a lot of effort. Like, what kind of advice would you give? Because there's a lot of young guys that want to travel and accomplish what you've accomplished. What would be something that you feel would help them to get to that point?
I think, man, it's such a different topic, because I feel like the way that the way to get better now, it's forever evolving. You know what I mean? Like before, it used to be like you just got a lab. Yes, you got to travel. Like traveling's always, you know, a part of that. But there's also sometimes where traveling can actually do more damage than good. You know what I mean? Because it's like you haven't built yourself up enough in your own home city, in your own country, that when you do experience like outside perspective, and when you come back, it's like you're not fully ready to like be able to take and then decide which one actually works for me, because then you start to take too much from the outside and not enough like discernment, or even just like being aware of just yourself, you know. So I think just a tip in general, like learn from, like don't be afraid to just do things in your own backyard, you know what I mean? Like you're saying, like it takes time. And for me, like I was training for years by myself, like what's it called, just to share a little bit about my history as like LIGHTSABER. LIGHTSABER started with a fam called LH, and we had like about 10 to 12 like members at our first national event, which was crazy. The year after that, it dropped down to like 3.
Ooh.
And I was the only active one the whole time. And so I think even just that process of just me training on my own for like a while really did just drive in the whole like lesson of like you have to do things on your own. You have to discover things on your own. You have to literally go out and lab in the backyard before you want to go to like the big stages and see everyone else. And then later on got under example EXCB, and that process started. And then obviously now I'm under Sherwin, Beast overseas. And it's, I think just for me, it's just like never be afraid of just doing your own thing and really trying to like understand yourself first. Because then once you go overseas, and it's not like they're doing anything different. They've just started doing the same process that we were supposed to do a lot longer before we even thought of it.
Right.
You know, like I look at Russia, like Russia's amazing, but bro, they're just years in front of us. There's no different like, oh, they do this different. There's this like technique.
Yeah.
There's nothing different. They just knew what they wanted to do. They made their own Krump, and they just developed it for years before anyone cared about them. And I feel like now that honestly plays a part on how we see them. Same with Japan, same with the States, obviously the creators. And so I think for anyone that's wanting to, you know, try and do, I don't know, what I've done and try to do even better things, because it's an opportunity to do better things. I think just before you look outward, look inward first. Try see what you can do there, and then be more open to just learning from other people's mistakes, whether it's going to different events, because traveling is important, but it has to be balanced. It has to be, you can't just say like, oh yeah, I'm going to travel to upskill, because you can upskill with like your OGs, you know, like
exactly,
legit, like you can upskill with some of the heavy hitters in your country. Like I battle 12 and 13 like all the time, bro. We're in the same city. I'm like, bro, I don't really care about the comp. Like, we're gonna lab and we're gonna battle.
You did that 3-way in the garage not long ago.
Bro.
Yeah.
And like it was funny too, because like I was in Wellington for an event, for a fundraiser for our trip to KOB, and all I was saying, bro, was like, I don't want a session with anyone. Like, I don't want to like get, you know, the focus out of the way. I just want us, whoever's there, like will be there, but I want us to battle. And so we labbed for like a good maybe 2 hours before the battle even started, and then we started battling. And so for me, it's like I don't need to look outward as much because there's so much talent right here.
Exactly.
And even like from labbing with like 12, 13, like I learned so much, bro. My Krump always changes, and they're just annoying because they're so good.
Oh, they are, man. You guys are like winning everything, man. But it's good because that's, it sets a standard that, people try to aim to reach, and if you got it in your own city.
Yeah, bro. You gotta grow together. You gotta grow together, bro. Like,
Facts,
legit,
bro.
I get so mad when people are like they look outward, but I'm like, bro, like everyone started somewhere. Everyone was at the same stage. Like,
bro, you're dropping bars right now, bro.
Saying, bro. It's been something that I've just wanted to express too. Just like people gotta grow together, bro. Don't look at the hype. Like I looked at last night, and I looked at the fans, bro. Like LIGHTSABER is great, but I wouldn't be LIGHTSABER without my support team and my fan. Same with 12, same with 13. Like we've got our fan that really back us up.
Yeah.
So like with that whole thing, like it's just growing together, regardless of whether or not I won EBS. Like that would never have mattered to me. The fact that I'm getting better, and I've got my support system and my fan like there. Like now it's just the whole narrative of like LIGHTSABER's the world champion. But before that, like I was like, I don't care if I'm world champion or not. That's a goal. I ticked it. But now I'm still like the goal is just to get even better and just to make sure that like the people around me, like we're growing together. So that's why I'm just like, so I just needed to say that, bro. Like we just need to grow together, regardless.
Yeah.
If it's a fan, and if you're the best, it doesn't matter. If you're the worst, it doesn't matter. Like let's build and grow together, because, bro, by the time like I finish this Krump, if I haven't made anyone else better around me, then I've failed as a world champ, as a leader, as LIGHTSABER. Like if I stop Krumping and no one else is like, if I haven't helped anyone else get better or get better than me, bro, you might as well just stop Krumping now, bro.
Yeah.
That's my legit, like, that's my mindset, bro. If no one's gotten better than me under my little homies, then I failed.
Yeah, bro, that's like, man, I hope everyone, all you Krumpers out there, are paying attention, because, like, even for me, bro, like, when I was coming up in the game, I always wanted to be the best. That was the goal. Like, I wanted to be the best. But then there was a time in my career that something clicked and my whole mentality changed. It wasn't about trying to be the best anymore. It was about, how can I bring someone else up, right? All this knowledge that I've gained over my years, how do I use that to better the next person and better the next? So my mentality is now, let's help this person be the best. Let's help this person be the best version of themselves, right? Because a lot of people, when they come up in the game, the reason why it takes them a while is because they're struggling to find themselves in the Krump game. And like for us coming up, it's like we know that process, right? We've gone through that process, so we know how we can help somebody, get there a lot quicker than than we did, And so I appreciate that advice. Like I feel like that should be a Krumper's ultimate goal, is how to make somebody else better. Because when you're retired, I'm retired, and frick, I've been trying to get retired for ages. But like when we're all gone, we'll know if we're successful if the movement is still popping,
Legit, bro. And I think like having that whole competitive mentality for a season or for your whole Krump career, it's valid, bro. Like that will never ever change. But I feel like if we're not seeing the other side of the coin, which is the whole like, who else are we bringing into the movement? Who else are we building? Who else are we teaching? Then, man. Regardless of titles, like for my little homies, like over this weekend, I was like, bro, I don't care if you guys don't win, but just go out there and just do better than what you expected. Yes, I'm a competitive person though.
Yeah.
So I was gutted when they lost. I was like mad. I was like, that first round, I was like, damn, they lost.
Let me ask you that.
Yeah.
As a judge, right? I've judged a lot. You've judged a lot. like, I don't think people understand that, you know, you don't know how hard it is to judge until you're sitting in that seat.
Yep.
You're judging people, you know. You just mentioned, you know, your fam, like, you got it, they lost, but, you know, you're judging against them. What's that process like?
It's difficult. It's
Yeah,
difficult,
it is,
bro,
man.
because you have to, like, you have to find a balance. Because for me, I sometimes am just way harsher on whoever, like, my fam is, like, during a battle. So me having to, like, find the range in which is, like, fair for both, and that I'm judging fairly. I'm not judging because, like, you know, when you're, like, watching your own fam, like, battle,
Yeah.
and you know they're just not getting off, but they're doing good.
Yeah.
But you're just like, no, that's whack. You're losing. You're losing. And then the other competitor comes in and it's like, oh wait, hold on. You have to take yourself out and just really see things like black and white. And so for me, that was the process yesterday. And so I hate judging, bro. I hate judging.
Me too,
I'm
bro.
a fair, like, I'll be as fair as I see it, but I do hate it because, yeah, it's a super hard job, and I give it up for anyone, like for the creators that did the EXP, that made the whole, like, judging system,
The point system, yeah.
point system. Like, it's nothing that we don't know, but to be able to see it so detailed, bro, like the way that they do, and then having other people, like, be in the same position where you have to, like, try and see things like that.
Yeah.
Bro, it was just mega stressful, man. But yeah, it was difficult, bro, to try and watch your fam, like, and try to judge them, because again, as a big homie, you just want to see them, like, win. But yeah, I was just laughing, bro, because I was like, bro, I have to sit through this. But it's cool. They learned a lot. I learned a lot, and I'm happy for the rest of the champs, because it's funny, like, in New Zealand, like, everyone's fam. In Auckland, everyone's fam.
Yeah.
So I was just, like, watching, like, high brush, and I was like, damn, they're getting off. Good on them. Like, and I was like, damn, Sabers. But it's cool, bro. You just gotta take yourself out. You gotta take yourself out and not be biased.
Yeah.
And that's easier said than done for some, because too many people are too prideful, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Egos,
Yep.
Too much egos, bro. I'm like, if my fam lose, like, they lost.
They lose, yeah.
Good on them.
You do more, yeah. You do more for them being honest like that. Then
And I like, I'm competitive. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be super competitive, but in that same sense, like, I'll be honest. So even after, like, bro, we went to Denny's, bro, and I was just telling all the things that they did wrong from the jump, bro, and their face was just like, and I was like, you lost. You lost, but it's cool. That's how we have to be as, like, leaders, bro.
yeah. Last thing before I let you go, Sherwin. All right. How much of an impact has that man had on your growth?
Yep.
You know, as a crumper, like, that's my guy too, man. I freaking love that dude, bro. But yeah, how's he?
Man, like, this baby tie-dye is beast. Sure Wheezy. Bro, he's been a massive help for me just in my journey. And I know for all Beast Camp members, like, he's helped us a lot. And I think one thing that people take for granted with him is that, or people forget, it's like, he's got 40 something members. Like, at the moment, I think we're like at 45 members all over the world. That's almost an army of 50. I'm not saying that's like the biggest thing, but, like, a lot of us are all over the world, and he is very intentional about building relationship, like, all the time, bro. And so for me, like, to have that type of support, to have him at such a high level, like, I need to, like, take this right back. So when I first heard that he was coming to New Zealand, Watch Life, Girl Street Beast, an example, actually went over to the States earlier in the year, and they did a private training with him. Now, before I even was thinking about trying to, you know, get under someone internationally, my first thing is that, like, if they're not a good person, I do not care about their names, bro. And there's been some instances where, you know, there's been, like, top dogs or top names that, and just dance in general, because of the choreo scene and because of Krump scene that I was introduced to, and all up in between. There's been some dancers that have just been like I do not want to mess with, bro. But they're what's it called? Example and Watch, like they both came back to New Zealand and they were just speaking highly of him just as a person. And for me, like that's a massive thing. And so to meet him, to talk to him for a little bit and to start that process, like I got that same vibe where this dude is a really good person. He'll really look after you. So that's why I wanted to be in Beast Camp. But during my time in Beast Camp, bro, he's been like such a mad help. Like he calmed me down for EBS. Like I was stressing, bro. Like I was like, oh my god, battling slam in the final EBS. Like I was walking around. I was trying to stay warm. I had my Tiger Balm. Like, I was rubbing all of that, and already my mind was just like going. And he was judging, so he was like, he had a battle too. He was busy. He was
man.
Into the zone, and then I didn't want to bother him, but like I walked up to him and he came and he was like, "Yo, how you doing?" And I was like, "Gee, I'm nervous." And he was just sharing like what he thought like was best for me. It wasn't a you should do this because this will be tight for the round. It was just like, man, just do what you do best. If you've got stuff, like pull it out. And like for him to just take that moment, like to share with me, like, cause it didn't have to be long, but for me, like the minute he walked off, like I was ready. And it's happened like time and time again, bro, where he just like is around. And I think with me now, in terms of my process, even as world champ, the expectation, the drama, the whole, like just the whole politics that comes with like Krump at times, he's been a mad like pillar just of support, bro, and just being stable and just like forget about the noise, just do this and just remember this is why you were tight, this is why I wanted you in the fam, you know what I mean? And those reminders, bro, those are the things that like just keep me going.
Yeah.
So I can speak a long time about him, but it's not because I'm just trying to like, I don't know, just trying to suck up or whatnot, but it's legit, bro. Like this dude, he's done a lot for me, bro. And I never have a platform to share it. That's why I'm so like invested in sharing it in this moment. But bro, like the fact that he's come to New Zealand like 4 or 5 times, like it's crazy, bro. Like we always want to bring him over, and every time he comes, it's always different. Like the fact that he teaches new things, the fact that he knows pretty much all of the community, like bro, like he
knows everybody.
He chills, bro, and like, you know what I mean. And it's so funny with him in Russia, bro. It's the same effect. Like he just knows everyone.
That's crazy, man.
He can talk to everyone. He's seen them since they were like 16, 17. Some of them now they're like in their late 20s. So just to see how he is as a person outside of the dance is even more of a reason to be with him in the dance. And if he was to like quit now, like I'm not saying he will, but I'm just saying like if he was to like just quit now and just stop, like I would still be Beast Camp like till I die. That's literally why
that's
I'm
real,
like,
bro.
I'm like, I haven't joined any other crew because I'm like, bro, like Beast. He's done a lot for me. Like there's not a lot of people that I like apart from LH. Like it's just LH and Beast Camp at the moment, and I don't feel like I need to do anything else.
You got everything there.
Yeah. Bro, legit. So that's why, man, the big homie, he's different, bro. And there's a lot of amazing big homies, like, you know what I mean? And I'm sure people can highlight their big homie, but this is my opportunity to highlight mine. So he deserves.
Sure, mate. Man. We got you, bro.
Easy, mate.
I can validate everything you're saying, bro. He's the man, bro. Most humble guy I know. We always argue because he's a Conor McGregor dude and I'm a Nate Diaz dude. We go back and forth all the time, bro. But yeah, he's the man, bro. I got killed by him at a street session, bro. I went into the battle already knowing my fate, bro.
That's happened to me like twice, bro. 3 times now, actually. 3 times, bro. And you're just like, yep, all good. I'm gonna just try at least land a punch on him, make a mark on him, make a bruise on him. Something. Look.
He's insane, man. His work ethic is insane.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about him, just because I know he's like got so many, like you're saying, like 40 plus members, and the fact that he can still find the time to give every single one of those members, you know, a lot of his time that's a real, like, yeah, that's I appreciate him.
It's crazy, bro, because like he's over in the States, you know, he could be doing a whole bunch of stuff, but even this weekend, like he was up at like 3 in the morning watching the finals of the 1v1 males, like on a live stream that YG Street Beast called him. Like, via IG. He was just like watching it, bro, and that's how invested he is in like the fam itself. Like,
that's crazy, man.
He'll definitely make the time if he's available, and again goes back to his work ethic. Like, it's not just him individually as a dancer on his own skill, it's also as a fam and as a unit. And yeah, bro, he's just super intentional, and we always chat, bro. Always chatting about stuff, like just random things, and it's buzzy, bro, because I wouldn't have had like thought previously that I would have this type of relationship with this type of person. But it just goes to show, like, everyone's human. Everyone started somewhere, you know. Before they were like the superstars of the Krump world, they were just like you and me, bro, just trying to find their way through it. And it gives all of us like a hope that, bro, like, we can be just as big as whoever else is big at the moment, you know. And yeah, bro, even just his history about how long it took him to be at the top, his ongoing like fight to be recognized as like, you know, a threat. Bro, there's a lot of things that I can talk about, but he is the man.
He is the man.
He is the man, bro.
You're the man, bro. I appreciate you, man.
One day, bro.
Appreciate you coming on, bro. Thanks for your time, man, and
it,
good luck with everything moving forward, whatever plans and goals you have for Krump.
Thank you.
But yeah, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
My man, Ken.
Make sure you follow.
Yeah. Junior Street Beast, not Ken.